Most of us have no plan for doing project planning. We leap straight into the lake or the river without checking for underwater logs or rocks first. The results are rarely as good as they could have been. Today, we are going through 8 steps to make project planning a snap. Welcome back to this weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center studio in Akasaka, in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can all be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. This is episode number 157, and we are talking about how to make project planning simple. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Well, it sounds so obvious that we should have structures for doing our project planning. Projects are part and parcel of the fabric of work life, and they constantly arise. It is surprising, though, that so many teams are busily working away with no structure whatsoever. The project team jumps straight into arranging the details of the project without giving any thought to how the project should be approached in a holistic manner. Think about your own experiences. Can you rattle off a structure for how projects should be planned? Because you have always done it that way in the past? Probably not. I was the same. In one of my previous organisations, we actually completed a lot of projects, and yet we never did anything apart from some very basic planning. We didn't even think of them as projects. We just saw them as activities at work. We would have done a lot better if we'd done some simple planning. So, let's all get better organised. There are 8 steps we can consider when we begin working on a project. So, let's assume that the team has been created, hopefully a great matchup between resident skill sets and the tasks required to successfully complete the project. Even if you don't have all the bases covered through your team, a good structure will help to overcome many of the gaps. Step 1, define what is the should be. This is the project scope and must be in harmony with the project creator's vision. What will success look like to the project client? If we don't have a clear idea of what we are supposed to achieve, then trouble is close by. Often, though, the project goals are a bit vague and very big picture. We need to push hard at this point to attain greater clarity about the end result we need to produce. Are we asking the right questions? If we are inheriting a project objective, we need to make sure what we're being asked to deliver. Step 2, analyse where we are with the as-is. This is our current reality, our circumstances at the start of the project. What is the situation in our broader work demands besides this new initiative? What resources and time frames have we been given? Do we have experience with this type of project? Do we know what we don't know? Step 3, we need to set our goals for the project. With no clear goals firmly attached, impact on the project will be limited. We will see it drift and there'll be lots of time wastage. The larger goal is a construct of a series of smaller goals all coalescing into the final output. SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is a well-known, useful acronym for thinking about how to create goals in the first place. A 5-point checklist for us to make use of. Are the goals specific in terms of processes and resources? Are they measurable, allowing us objective data to gauge progress? Are the goals attainable, something the team can be motivated to pursue? Are the goals relevant to the vision of the project sponsors, or are we heading off course? Finally, are they time-specific, with clear deadlines and milestones with which to check our progress? Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. Step 4, have we chosen the right action steps? In order to achieve the goals we have set, there must be priorities established and, flowing from that, the action steps developed. We need to clearly set the requirements of the job, noting who will do which tasks and how the tasks should be completed. We also have to plan for how the individual work pieces will synchronize and emerge as a coherent progression that arrives at the desired outcomes. We must also think about how we will need to communicate the results on the way through and again at the end. Often we forget the all-important communication piece because we are too busy, all tied up with the actual doing. Step 5, what are the costs? People, time, and money are the usual resources we are normally short of when trying to do projects. We need to estimate how much of each we will need and do this at the start. Step 6, timetables are key to checking progress. Clear deadlines, well communicated and understood, will be broken out into stages throughout the project. We set them at the beginning. As we move forward, we need to check against the completion of work compared to the original time estimate to understand our progress. When we do this, we enable ourselves to make studied adjustments in a holistic fashion rather than having panic set in. Step 8, implementation of the plan necessitates that everyone in the team understands their role, the specific goals, the timelines, and the why we are doing this. This why part is often just assumed and not actually communicated. Of course, everyone knows why we're doing this. Well, I wouldn't be too hasty to assume that. Check. There is real understanding, and you may be surprised to find out you were too optimistic. Step 8. Upon completion, we need to celebrate. Then go back and check the reality against what we presumed would occur. This is a vital learning step, often neglected, which, if we miss, it ensures we keep reinventing the project wheel. This is where we seize best practice, refine our internal procedures, record them, and set ourselves up for future success. It is time-consuming to do this, and after the project, everyone is usually tired and worrying about their next project. This is such a valuable part of the project structure, though, because it produces templates, checklists, and insights that make the next project that much easier to do. It also helps when there is a change in the composition of the group and the corporate memory is no longer available to you. This 8-step progression is not a complex process, but it will save a lot of panic, late nights, wasted efforts, and stress. If we go through it from the start, we can do it the hard way or the easy way. So let's choose the structured way and make life a bit easier for ourselves. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube. Share with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now. enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so check it out. You might also enjoy our other shows. For podcasts, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday for the Business Tatsujin no Oshier program, Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series, Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday for the Business Pro podcast. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, we have Japan's top business interviews. Now, you get these wherever you get your podcast. Also, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Every Friday, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and every Saturday, Japan's top business interviews. These are all on YouTube. In episode number 158, we are talking about how leaders own the culture spectrum. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. We've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.